Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I can just hear like rumbling in my house and that just like distracted me for a sec. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be reading the subreddit Am I the A-hole and ranking them. So basically for the ranking, I'm going to start at the bottom. At the bottom is you're definitely in the wrong. And that's like, as what you hear is what it is. Like that person is in the wrong, they're the bad person in the story. And then we have couldn't really tell you. Like I can't really tell you if you're really in the wrong because I need more information and I really need to like think it out more and figure out if you're actually the bad person in the story, you know? And then we have it's okay, just don't do it again. Like what you did, it's all right. Just like refrain from like doing it ever again. So at the top is you're definitely not the a-hole, which is self-explanatory. So also I'm going to be reading 5 because these tend to be long. So let's get to it. My dandy laptop here. Had for a couple years. Okay. The first one. Am I the a-hole for asking my husband if he washed his hands? Just saying about just by the title of this, you sound a little, you're teetering right now, you know? My husband and me seem to have different standards on hygiene and cleanliness. I might be overly worried about germs to him, but whenever we go places, I want us to wash our hands when we get back. He started making food today for himself, and I asked him if he washed his hands. There's a question, and he said, "What the F is wrong with you?" And this led to a fight where I told him if he would just do it, I wouldn't feel the need to ask, and he said I'm belittling him, and then he raised his voice and got mad. I told him not to talk to me like that. It's like getting to me that at night he doesn't always brush his teeth, never flosses, etc. So am I belittling and in the wrong? So that's the first one, which wasn't long, but just by hearing that, you are like, I want to put this one at like couldn't really tell you because I feel like I need more information to rate it. But like just by hearing it, I feel like she's not in the wrong because number one, you're married, and I feel like it's good to have a habit of washing your hands when you come from places because you never know with germs. And asking him if he washed his hands before he cooked is like a good question because who doesn't wash their hands before they cook food? Especially like I feel like you're not in the wrong. You're not belittling, and you should like care about your feelings towards germs. Like I just feel like that's just a thing that he should do. I just feel like that's really self-explanatory. So, okay. Am I the a-hole for injuring myself before my sister's wedding? By this title, it sounds like you intentionally injured yourself, which makes you sound like a jerk. But okay. I, 28 female, and my sister, 26 female, have always had great relations. Recently, her fiance, let's call him Josh, had proposed to her. She invited the entire family and a few of her friends to the wedding. 4 days before the wedding, I was cycling around the neighborhood I live in. I accidentally took a sharp turn and planted face first into the concrete. I bruised my leg, part of my face, and arms. Unfortunately, I thought I shouldn't go to the wedding. This reached my sister a few hours after I came back home and treated my scar. And I tell you, she was furious. She told me that because of some dumb scar, I can't come to a relative's wedding. She also accused me of doing this on purpose just so I wouldn't have to see her friend, my ex. About 1 hour later, I got an entire paragraph from my mother stating that I am a liar and a selfish person. That there were 2 main reasons why I couldn't attend the wedding. First, after the crash, I felt extremely nauseous and dizzy. Not a good sign. And second, I could not dare to walk in a public area with a large bright red dot on my forehead. My husband, let's call him Damien, also decided not to go to the wedding due to the way my sister treats me. During the time I'm writing this, it is 3 days before the wedding, and I'm still feeling extremely sick. My mother is scolding me for not being able to attend a wedding for a medical event. She says that my sister has attended all of my important events, my graduation, my wedding, etc. I accept that, but getting bombarded by angry messages from my mom because I got hurt is horrible in my eyes. So am I the whole? Okay, but there's an update. Extreme nausea is an overstatement. I got a slight wave of nausea and some dizziness only in the evening. Yesterday, 3 days before the wedding, I went to the ER to get checked out, and surprisingly, it was a mild concussion. I have just came back from the hospital from my overnight stay since they had to examine me and all that. I'm doing quite good now, but everyone that are saying you for some dumb bruise, the bruises on my arms, forehead, and legs, it was just a wavy texture, and I couldn't cover it up with makeup. So, seeing as you went to the hospital, okay, just from reading this, I'm gonna put it at, it's okay, just don't do it again. Like, I know you can't control when you get hurt on, like, when you're biking and such, but, like, I would be more cautious, like, a couple of days before my sister's wedding, but I think that your parent, like your mom, is choosing sides, which is kind of hurtful, and like saying, oh, like suck it up, like yada yada yada. But like having a mild concussion is something, and I don't feel like it's a concussion. You don't want to mess with concussions because concussions can really like mess up your brain, and you should rest. And I just feel like going to a wedding and dancing around is not what's gonna help. It's gonna make it worse, and it's not a medical event. The way her mother is describing how she got hurt. And also, who wants to go to a wedding with a bunch of bruises and a big dot on their forehead? So I personally don't believe that you're the a-hole, but I'm gonna put you in, it's okay, just do it again, you know? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister's boyfriend he should get an effing job? Okay. Just by hearing that doesn't sound like you are the good person in this situation, just by hearing that. So, sorry. Okay. My sister, 22, is starting med school in the fall. She's been dating Jack. Jack's 23 since high school. He has been in college for 5 years now. Changed his major twice and only has an associate's. We were having dinner to celebrate my sister, and my whole family was there. Jack decided to tell everyone at my sister's dinner that his parents told him that they wouldn't pay for his schooling anymore. My sister started to comfort and reassure him. It pissed me off that she had to do that at her own party. I told the boyfriend I could help him with his resume, but he said he didn't need to work on his resume since he didn't have his degree yet. I asked what exactly what his plan was, and he said he didn't have one yet. I changed the topic to my sister's upcoming trip she's taking with her friends. Jack then uses this to transition to talking about how he wants to apply to study abroad, but is not sure how he will pay for it. I said I've always found the best way to make money is with a job. He glared at me, and my dad changed the topic. After dinner, Jack came up to me and asked if I had a problem. I said I didn't appreciate him tainting my sister's event with a sob story about how he couldn't get a 4-year degree in 5 years. He said I was a hypocrite with a useless art degree that doesn't even use my degree in my job. I said that's irrelevant because I have a job, and you should probably effing get one too. But my sister is a student and can't afford to carry his worthless, He called me a self-righteous prick and left. I've been thinking about it, and I think I overreacted and could have just blown him off and not talked to him when he came up to me. I doubt cussing at him is going to convince him, so I probably shouldn't have done that. I would say I'm gonna put this one in. It's okay, just don't do it again. Simply because I don't appreciate the boyfriend trying to make the dinner about him and trying to get something from your family when we're talking about your sister and her trip and like her going to med school. That's what like is making me seem like you're not like, you probably shouldn't have told him to get a job, but like he doesn't have to get like a really big job. Like he can just get like a really easy like part-time job just so you can get a little bit of money and income. Because asking your friend, like, I feel like you're not the bad person. You're not like really the bad person in the story, but I wouldn't do it again. Like I wouldn't do that again. Like I just advise this person not to do it again. Like not the bad person, but like, come on. He obviously, like, you're definitely like, I'm wording this so weirdly, and I've just said what I'm trying to say. I've said like 3 times, but you're not the bad person, but just I wouldn't do that again. I would handle the situation differently next time, Okay. This one's kind of long, so just be aware. Am I the a-hole for yelling at a gym rat in front of everyone? I, 21 female, having started going to the gym I, 21 female, have started going to the gym a bit regularly. I recently got off the implant and I'm desperate to lose some weight. Oh, I wouldn't say I'm fat. I'm 5'8", so it usually balances out. It's just a bit chunky in the wrong places. I've got a 24-hour membership at a fairly large gym near me, and I've been going for about 2 months now. A week ago, I went at a really busy time, like 6 p.m. instead of my usual 11 p.m. because I had to be up early because of traveling to an interview. I was doing some lateral pull downs on the machine and noticed a muscular guy was hovering near me. I could sense him halfway through my set, but tried to ignore him. When I finished my first one, I turned and looked at him, waiting for him to say something as he stared back because it seems like he was waiting for the machine himself. I eventually just offered up my seat, saying he could work in if he needed, and he thanked me and sat down. So I'm having a really hard time reading this because it's worded kind of weirdly and like whatever. Here's the problem. He wouldn't let me back in. Once he finished his first set, I waited a few minutes thinking maybe he was going to stand up, but he just went on his phone and then started his second set. On his next break, I tapped him on the shoulder and asked if I could work back in. He pretty much shrugged me off and ignored me. I was a little irritated but I again waited for his next set to finish. I thought I'd ask how many he had to do left, and this man was going to do 10 sets, and it was only on his third. So after his fourth set, I took the screws out of the way and placed it at the weight I needed and just stood right next to him waiting. He moved back the screws but I took it out again. This went on for a little bit and he was just getting visibly annoyed before he stood up and just left without all of his stuff. I just shrugged and rested down, but halfway through my set, I got tapped on the shoulder and it was one of the workers. He said I needed to leave the machine and stop harassing other members to give it up. I was gobsmacked. I tried to explain the situation, but he just kept telling me I needed to get off it and give it back to the man like this was preschool. The gym guy was oh my god, this person wrote it so weirdly. The gym guy was just stood there smirking. I snapped at him, yelling that he really is just some coward for running to a worker because I wanted the machine back after I allowed him to work in. I berated him on what working in meant and asked if he ever treats any of the male goers like this, or does he just like to try and intimidate women because of his fragile masculinity. The gym was silent and everyone was watching by the time I finished. I put my headphones in and sat back down fuming. I was half expecting someone to drag me out, but some of the other masculine men came over and apologized for what the guy did, saying that it wasn't proper gym etiquette, but that I shouldn't have yelled at him and embarrassed him like that. I think that I was justified, but now I feel awkward going back to the gym. They edited it and said I didn't go up to the worker because I one was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and two was sure that as soon as I left, he would stoop in and sit down, and I would have been at square one waiting again. I also used because blah blah. Whatever. That was horrific to read. So sorry. So basically, I'm gonna summarize it because it was really hard to read. She's at the gym and she's working out, she's lifting, and like this guy is just like standing behind her, hovering her, which is like extremely weird. Use your words. And is like, she's like, oh, like we can like swap back and forth like after sets and stuff like that. And he just steps in and she's like, oh yeah. But he doesn't swap back with her, yada yada yada. She gets annoyed and then just changes the way, waiting for him to leave. When he leaves to go tell the worker like a little child, she steps in and starts getting into it. The worker tells her to leave, like, you're not doing your job. And then the guy is standing behind the worker smirking. She yells at him. It's like, come on, like, are you serious? Like, why are you doing this? I don't think you understand gym etiquette. And you were acting like a child. Like, just be kind. Would you do this to any of the other guys? Fast forward, she sits down, like, she did it, she fumed. She was a little like uncomfortable because everyone was staring at her. Some of the guys apologized for his behavior and said that that was not the best way to handle it. But like, what would as a girl going to a gym, I feel like she's not in the wrong. I know I put a lot of these in this category, but I'm gonna put it in it's okay, just don't do it again. I know I put a lot of these here, but I feel like that's where they go. That's where they're meant to be. And so, like, oh my God, if I don't know what I would do if I encountered a guy like that, because I think a lot of guys think like gyms are just for them, because like they have been for a long while, but like nowadays a lot of girls are getting into lifting and like working on all of that and like having massive quads and arms and yada yada yada, and they're happy with that because that's what they want to do. But I feel like a lot of guys sometimes get intimidated by that and like are rude. So I just feel like she's not the bad person in the situation, but I wouldn't do it again, and I would handle the situation differently. Okay, that was a long one. It was really hard to read. It was horrible. It was awful. Like, it was a really long one. This one, just by reading the title, they feel kind of jerky. Am I the a-hole for treating my friend like crap over money? Here's the foundation. I lent my friend some money, over $100, when he was falling on hard times. He has had no food or a job, so I thought I could help him out, even though I'm also less fortunate. After a few months, the same friend posted pictures of him flashing hundreds of dollar bills and new shoes and consoles and food selfies. I was proud to see him doing well, and it didn't bother him about paying me back. During that time, I lost my home and stayed with my family. I asked said friend if he could lend me some cash so I could get clothes or for a job interview, since I had to move and quit my former job. He refuses. Okay, his money, his choice, fair enough. Weeks later, I managed to get a job and became steady again. While on my phone, my friend texted me saying that he had no food and was starving, and me being my dumb self, I ordered him McDonald's that totaled to $30 and KFC that was $20. He was grateful for it and said, "Oh, so you're a lifesaver," and was all friendly and promised to pay me back the $100 and the extra $50. Days later, when I didn't have any food due to me using my paycheck helping pay rent and Ubers and gas money, I asked the friend if he could lend me the money now, since he recently posted on his IG stories of him going to the mall and buying new shoes, an iPhone, and even a new dog. He acted as if I spat in his face and was livid that I dare ask him for money. It went something like this. Me: "Can I borrow $30 for groceries?" Friend: "No, why would I give you money?" Me: "You promised that you pay me back." Friend: So listen, I don't got money like that to be given away." Me: "You posted yourself spending $300 in flashing money." Friend: "That was to promote my rap stuff. I don't know." Me: "So you aren't going to pay me back?" He left me on scene and didn't respond for 2 months. He later came back pleading for me to buy him some food again because he was now broke. I rejected him to help him in any way ever again, and now our mutual friend is saying I'm the a-hole for being distant and dismissive to him over $150, but it was more than just for the money. He didn't keep his promise and used me as a meal ticket, and was only my friend when he could get something out of it. Okay, just from this, definitely not the a-hole. Like, I feel like you're definitely not the bad person in this situation, because you're like, if you are time and time and again helping someone out, even though you probably shouldn't be because you are not financially stable to do such a thing, then you're a good person. And then simply saying that you can't give someone money because you can't is not make you a bad person. Then asking for them to pay you back because like you need the money, and he said he was gonna pay you back, so that too. I just feel like you're not the bad person, and maybe you should recognize a little sooner, but your friends are the bad people in the situation because you're just being kind, and you can't afford to support someone over and over again if they're not going to try and support you back. Okay, that is the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Next time, maybe I'll get more like they're the bad person in the situation. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.